Hello, and welcome to episode 19 of the Talking Snacks podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Sir Talking Snacks. I'm joined by...
Mr. Snacks himself, actually.
Oh, okay. How was that?
That was beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
That was beautiful.
Beautiful.
You took me by surprise. I had no idea it was about to happen.
Yeah. Well, I throw on my 2 pence. Pure water.
Pure water.
Water.
That's pure beauty, what you just did there.
Star.
That's what I thought. You were a star.
Star. Well, you know what happens. You go the wrong way down a one-way street. You end up a star.
But, yeah, as my esteemed colleague just said, here we are. Episode motherfucking 19.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
It's crazy. Calm down.
New year, new us. Still keeping that going.
As Smash Mouth once said, the years start coming and they don't stop coming.
They don't stop coming. There you go.
Same thing with this podcast.
They just keep coming.
They just keep coming.
We'll do that for you. So we got...
It does just keep coming. I honestly do not feel like there's weeks in between this.
So we got nothing but free time on Monday nights. Between the hours of 8 to midnight-ish. So...
As long as it takes more time than you think to perfect this news that we have here.
Gotta get this top-notch quality. This production values out there.
Let''s start this out a different way. Okay. Actually, the same way as always. What's new with me this week? Listen to this. Listen, you guys can't hear it.
Let me narrate. Roger is rocking back in a chair, back and forth.
I got a new chair,
and it's not creaking and popping and making.
It doesn't. It doesn't do that terrible noise that you're so accustomed to hearing.
Doesn't sound like an old hardwood floor like you see in horror movies anymore. It actually behaves like.
You'll probably still hear it a little bit, but it's definitely way better.
Nowhere near as bad as the other one.
Yeah,
trust me.
Got it for free.
Not bad. Can't beat that.
Yeah, free's always good.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is Talking Snacks, episode 19. What do we do? Oh wait, I know what we do. We follow this.
We do gaming news things.
We do.
We follow Notepad.
OneNote, actually.
Notebook, sorry.
That's OneNote.
OneNote.
Yeah. Syncs between your phone and your PC.
Hype.
So I take notes during the week.
Google? Is this through Google?
No, it's through Windows.
Ah. Google did first. Google Docs.
Probably. But I use this just because it's always on my home screen.
Hi. Well, as always, how's your week been?
It's weird being in the questionnaire seat. My week's been really good. Follow up on last week's little tidbit. I've been doing this dieting thing. Mm-hmm. Drinking a lot of water. Eating somewhat healthier. A lot of baked chicken. So much baked chicken. But been trying to watch what I eat as well, and I have allotted hours. I'm doing more or less a fasting diet, but...
You want to tell them what diet you're doing?
It's a 16-8 diet.
Mm-hmm. I believe it's the same thing that Terry Crews does, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really?
I believe so. I think that's what he said on when he was on Hot Ones. I think that's what he did for a while to lose weight or bulk up on mass or something. I don't remember. But.
I hope it's not bulk up on mass, but it's supposed to be good for blood pressure, prevent diabetes, and lose weight in general. Especially
all good things.
Yeah, especially when you compare it or pair it with a lot of water. I'm not missing a lot of stuff, honestly. I've cut out sodas completely, a lot of junk food. Literally, I've just been eating baked goods, really. Mm-hmm. Only thing I'm really missing is my morning coffee has now transitioned to what would have been delicious coffee into... I'm not allowed to put...
Black tar coffee.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to put any sugar or cream in my coffee. At least until 12 o'clock, because my diet... my dieting hours are between 8 p.m. to 12 a.m., so...
What? 8 p.m. to 12 a.m.?
Backwards. Said it backwards. My bad.
Like noon to 8, you mean?
8 to noon.
Is when you can't do anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
8 at night till 12 noon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got it.
So when I wake up in the morning, I've been drinking black coffee.
Good on you, man.
It's a hurdle.
Put some hair on your chest.
It's not bad, especially when you drink decent coffee. Like, there's some coffee that's pretty bad by itself.
No, I'm the type of guy where if I pour a thing of coffee, it's pretty much cold by the time I drink it because I put so much like creamer and or milk in it that it's like simmered it down to lukewarm temperature, you know? So it kind of takes away from that like thing, but it's still coffee, so, you know.
Yeah. But other than that, I'm really not missing much. I feel way better. In this last week, I don't want to say accomplished way more than whatever, but I have so much more energy. It's crazy. I'm not one for advocating self-health by no means. I smoke and drink like nobody's business, but I've cut back on a lot of that. So
hydration is key.
It really is. It's been a crazy week for that. As far as gaming goes, man, Sea of Thieves is actually taking over my fucking life.
Yeah.
I love it.
Did you play a little bit of Jedi's?
I did. I live streamed a bit of Jedi's yesterday. I'm trying to just complete it for the backlog. And this is going to sound bad. I'm just playing the game to beat the game.
Uh-huh.
Like, I'm going to watch cutscenes and do all that stuff, but I'm not, like, in it to be in it.
Yeah, I feel you.
That sounds bad from a gamer's point of view, because I'm sure there's a lot there, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. But I'm playing it just to kind of... I have a lot of a backlog. You know this.
I do know this.
So,
they could see your desktop of unfinished games. It's quite the haul. You'll be busy just from that alone.
So I just picked that because that was the newest thing, and I feel guilty that we talked about it a lot. And
once Animal Crossing comes out, that's going to be a wrap.
Oh yeah, Animal Crossing is going to be a thing, at least for the first month. But then after the first month, it'll probably become the same thing that Animal Crossing always is. That daily hour or two game. Yep. Where I probably get off work and I'll be like, oh, gotta do my Animal Crossing, and I'll sit down and I'll enjoy the music. I'll enjoy every little aspect about it, the artwork, and just.
I don't think we got
see
into
that?
it.
What's that?
That's goose pimples.
Just straight up thinking about it, man. I just want that relaxation that comes from that game alone. Even though that game's literally about life and paying off debts most of the time. So it's weird how...
It dresses it up.
Yeah.
This is your life, but look what it would be like if you were...
A
cute little cartoon animal. Now that that 9-to-5 grind for the rest of your life doesn't seem so boring, does it?
But yeah, that'll probably happen.
We didn't get into it too much on the last podcast. We talked about Animal Crossing, but what's the new one's shtick? What do you do in the new one?
The new one's supposed to be a resort island, is what it seems like. Nook has upgraded their services, so now you're on a vacation resort for Nook. So
Nook's got his little raccoon hands and everything, doesn't he?
I think
Tanuki hands.
I think he's a Tanuki. Yes,
sorry, my bad.
You're good. You see, I was about to correct you. When that hand comes up, you know.
Don't want to put him in the same category as Sly Cooper, although they both steal money from people. So maybe that's a stereotype.
I think it's I can't think of it.
It's prejudice.
No, it's a cultural thing. Tanuki's supposed to be there, so I think it was kind of...
Okay. That's their Japanese version of a raccoon.
A little different, but yeah.
Asian version of a raccoon. Yeah. Fair enough. The American one steals. The Japanese one steals through white tape. Or white collar, sorry.
Yeah. He's actually
He's actually just a Yakuza mob boss member. He's like, oh, I started up with this village, now I want a town, now
Rossetti
I want a city.
used to work for him.
Yeah.
That's why he's so used to screaming. That's actually sad. They're going to have autosaves now. So, what is... Rossetti lost his job? I don't know if you know. You know Rossetti?
No.
Rossetti was the mole that always showed up when you didn't save your game. I guess it somehow cached something in the data bank. That
they could still probably figure a way for him.
Yeah, but whenever you didn't save, when you booted up the next game, Rossetti would pop up and yell at you a lot.
Did they have somebody that screamed at you if you played for too long at a time? Like, damn, homie, stretch your legs.
No.
Remember they did that on the Wii a lot. If you played like Wii Fit or something for a long time, they were like, yo, breaks are important. Make sure you take a break every 20 minutes or whatever.
No, get that shit out of my gaming face. Hate that shit. But yeah, Sea of Thieves, I've had a lot of fun with it. I know it's an older game, but me moving to the PC lifestyle, quote, it's really fun for the free Game Pass that I've been experiencing for a while. They're having an update later this week. Should add some new and interesting things.
They're gonna add Jack Sparrow. You're gonna have to go steal his
They
compass.
need to add some more meat and potatoes, if you will. There's a lot to the game, but it's not like hearty. It's not a hearty amount of stuff. Mm-hmm. It's just stuff that can be done, but none of it matters. The entire game does not matter.
Right.
It really doesn't.
Just filler.
That's really what it is. There's no story. There's nothing. It's just, hey, you want to get your homies together and just sail around and
for like 10 hours.
Absolutely, and it's fun. When I first did it, I was like, this is okay. Second time, I was like, man, there's a lot to this, I guess. And then you get back, there's not a lot to it, but I'm having fun.
Right.
And now I'm just straight up, this is fucking fun. And I've talked about this on other podcasts. When's the last time you played a game just because you're having fucking fun? Not because you want to beat it, not because of the story, just because you're having fun.
I don't know. I can't remember.
And that's
Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm doing. My girlfriend's playing. I got my cousin. He's playing with us now. Man, having a lot of fun.
I don't know if I could get into that game. It seems too slow for me.
There's a lot of slow, but once you learn how to do everything, there's always something to be done, regardless if you know it or not. I don't know if you watched me stream last night, but I was getting on the my cousin's friends. He was playing, and he had some friends, and I was like, what are you guys doing? You guys need to be doing things. And they're like, no, we're just doing it. And I'm like, no. We're sailing from here to there. We could be cooking stuff and fishing food. That way, because if it comes down to it, like when we got in the volcanoes last night, we was running out of food. Mm-hmm. Whose fault is that? Them motherfuckers that wasn't actually doing shit while we were playing. We could have had food stocked the fuck up. We could have wood stocked the fuck up.
Just a bunch of damn landlubbers.
Yeah. Scallywags is how
they
go up. But other than that, yeah, finishing up on the backlog. Catch me streaming. Been really hammering home on the stream.
Hit us up on the Facebook stream. It's blowing up on there.
Yeah.
Almost 100 followers or likes or whatever the hell.
It's followers,
tweets.
Actually.
They call them tweets nowadays?
No, that's Twitter.
On Booker? What is it?
You're silly. But no, I am actually doing really well on Facebook. I do share all these posts to YouTube, but if you're out there and you listen on YouTube, I'd much appreciate if you give the Facebook page a like or whatever.
That is where he lives at. So
the Facebook seems to be treating me way better than the Twitch lifestyle and the YouTube. I think it's where it's just so we talked about this. It's a little oversaturated.
Yeah.
Everybody's been doing the YouTube and the Twitch forever, and Facebook's just trying to cash in on it. So they're trying to propel their own.
Facebook streaming's like the Google Plus of.
Yeah, they're trying their hardest to propel people up. That would be, hey, we're doing this too. Hey, if they wanna push me up there, shit, I'll take it.
There you go.
I'll grab it and I'll ride the sales, buddy.
You could be the first big Facebook streamer.
Yeah, I'll be the face of Facebook.
Face of Facebook. God knows it could use another one. Zuckerberg can barely smile without looking like a lizard, so.
But yeah, that's been my week.
Neat.
Streaming and Sea of Thieves. And
well, my week was wrapping up Death Stranding. I beat it. It made no goddamn sense.
Are you sure?
Fairly certain.
Are you sure? Immediately when you finished the game, did you not go to YouTube and be like, ending explained?
I thought about it. I'll do that at a later date because I know it's going to be like
you want to let it settle or
just not even that. I just know it's going to be like a 2-hour video.
It will.
Because there's like a lot. There's so much in that game. Story-wise. Not like really gameplay-wise, but story-wise, everything leads into another thing, which is just a slippery slope down a... It's whatever. I don't even want to get into it because it's just... It almost infuriates me to the point of how confusing it can be sometimes. For no reason. It could be simplified into so many different / better ways, in my opinion, but you know Kojima.
You told me that you finished it, I think, last night. I was actually streaming. There was a cutscene that kind of made its rounds on YouTube and other popular, content creators. It was Norman Reedus, and I don't know if it was Umbrella Girl or whatever, but they had like a Mario Peach
God.
thing.
It was so
it was
that
just as bad as
Yeah, it was. That was cringy.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck that was, but you want to explain what or why or how that came to be? Was there any reason or rhyme to why they name dropped Mario, Peach, or just because?
I don't know. I guess
just because video game likeness.
Maybe it was just very cringy and out of place when they did it. I don't remember exactly what led up to it, but Sam was on his beach, which is a.
Yeah, you explained it last week. His beach, he was on a beach. His like metaphorical,
his actual dimensional space or whatever that he goes to, and his sister / girlfriend / whatever.
Is it Umbrella Girl?
No.
Okay, my bad. I didn't know who that was.
But they were talking to each other, and she was talking about how his beach is important or whatever, how his dimensional stuff is important, and for whatever reason, Norman Reedus was like. So I'm Mario and you're Princess Peach. And then she immediately follows it up with like, no, I'm Princess Beach. And I was just like, my God, this is... like these dialogues are already awkward enough as it is. Like,
most of the time you chalk it up to translation errors, but when it's that clear, that's not. Yeah.
Also, I just want to say that ending took way too goddamn long because they did this thing where. And I know this is Kojima's like cinematic side coming out of him, I guess.
Do we need to throw out a spoiler alert?
No. Well, maybe.
We'll just say yes.
No. Okay. All right. Okay. Whatever. If you want to listen to this part, you can. If you don't care about the, I'm just alluding to it. I'm not giving away anything. But at the end of the game, you're still playing the game, but the credits are rolling. Does that make sense? The entire goddamn credits. You ever
While the game is still going?
Yes. You're walking around doing your thing, and you literally have to hit these triggered, like, scripted points, and it'll do a cutscene. It'll come out of the cutscene. You walk around some more, play some credits some more, and it'll do it again. And I'm not shitting you. It took like 2 hours of just nothing. And it was already just like over-explaining. You remember when I hit you up yesterday on the stream? And it was just like doing the typical over-explaining thing. That's all that served to do. Was just like, that thing that you thought you knew was actually tied into this thing that nobody knew except me. And maybe this guy, but he betrayed us, kinda, when he actually double-crossed them. But I thought he was on our side. But then your beach actually came forward. And it was just like, Jesus, Just follow a linear plot line. Just something, anything. Like, this is so just fucking out there. I don't know. Every time I thought I was grasping the story of that game, it slipped away from me. And I didn't even want to try to get into symbolisms and metaphors and stuff. I just gave up on that point. So you know what I did? Beat that game. Told you last night. I went out and I attempted to buy Disco Elysium. It's not on PlayStation. So I said, damn, what else is coming out that's hype? So I thought back to the VGA premieres and stuff. I remembered Wolf Among Us 2 got teased. I'm like, damn, I'm going to go play Wolf Among Us. So I beat Wolf Among Us last night.
Nice.
Yeah, Telltale game. Probably the best one, I would say, out of the all the Telltale ones I've done. Which, granted, is not many, but it's a handful.
I'm not a big fan of any of the Telltale games.
I can.
As a gamer, I feel bad that I can't.
It's point and click.
Yeah, stuff. Yeah. What do they call it? Adventure.
Yeah, it's just like your old
point and click adventure games. Like
Escape from Monkey Island, was that?
Yeah,
that type
Grim
deal?
Fandango.
Yeah, stuff like that. And then they sprinkle in the dialogue and QuickTime things, which I will say. I really did like that because The Wolf Among Us had the most, like, quote-unquote combat out of all the Telltale games I played. Like, the first Walking Dead, you go, like, you smack a zombie here or there, but you can go, like, an episode or two without there being any sort of action, quote-unquote. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But The Wolf Among Us had, like, I want to say at least, like, 2 or 3 fights in each episode, which was pretty cool. And I know I said it already, but probably the best story, best one out of all the Telltales they did, based off a comic book, by the way.
Yeah. Like I was saying, I feel bad as a gamer knowing that those games exist and just that I cannot play things like that. When Walking Dead first came out, the Telltale games, I was like, oh, everybody was hyped for it, and I was like, okay,
yeah, that shit was hype.
I was like, I'm gonna try that, and then I played it, and I played not a lot of it, and was like, and it's been a while since the first one, and honestly, I think that game gave me my first realization that not every game is for me, and as a gamer, that kind of hurt me a bit, but I still watch people enjoy it, and I'm not gonna shit talk it. It's just not my type of game.
Yeah,
you know.
I feel you.
But I do hate that I can't experience that and enjoy it. It's something that I wish was put into a different form of media that I could. Like you said, this one's in a comic, so I could probably enjoy it like that. But
they could.
I think comics to something like that would be nowhere near the same. I think it would be better experience like that than a comic, because I think still images would be as good as it could be, but as a fan of the comic, moving to that, I think that should be a more immersive experience to somebody that would already enjoy The Wolf Among Us. I think, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it does hurt me to let that go by me.
I mean, I don't think
they've already went defunct now, so
yeah. I mean, we
just gotta wait for some other studio to be like, should we try it?
Well, they are, right? Didn't they show a trailer for it, or am I just tripping?
They did, but that's some other studio now.
Well, hopefully they'll do it.
The engine will probably be way better, because apparently that engine was.
Yeah, I don't mean any offense. I don't mean any offense when I say this, but whatever engine Telltale was using for those games,
they used the same one for like 10 years.
Dude, it's very jank. And if you've played Telltale games, you know what I mean. Like, things skip.
Yeah, it makes you think that your console, I don't know what you played on, but it makes you think that your hardware you're using is not able to do it properly.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember doing it on, was that on original PS3? I think so.
I believe it. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, and I remember watching it, and it was just cel-shaded graphics.
Yeah, nothing like
and it was
super...
and it kind of just skipped and hitched every now and then during a regular-ass, like, interaction cutscene thing. And
not only that, but, like, textures. Certain textures would just have a hard time just popping in and out. They render at weird times. Just really...
Meanwhile, you got fucking Borderlands over here that literally has the same art style, just like just popping off in all angles. So
yeah, so I mean, it is janky, but I guess it can be forgiven a little bit because they bleed storytelling. That's their whole shtick.
It would be forgiving if later on down the line, there's a reason they went fucking defunct. I like the way I said that, actually. They did Batman games. They did so many games in that style.
Oh, yeah,
and the engine never got fucking fixed. And there's no excuse for that.
Yeah.
Like, literally no excuse.
I don't know how
when you had people complaining about your problems on... I can't remember what gen that would be. But PS3, Xbox 360 era, there's no excuse for you to have that same engine doing the same type of shit on, quote, next gen. Here we are moving on to future gen, whatever. But
yeah, because I'm fairly certain they made enough money off that Walking Dead one with Lee and Clementine, the first one. They could have upgraded some stuff, made some quality of life changes somewhere, something. But I guess maybe it was
the old EA thing.
Maybe it was.
I'm not going to give them that. That's rough for anybody.
Yeah. Maybe it was a pinching pennies thing. I don't know, but they definitely could have done some better stuff with the endings, or not the endings, the engines rather. But aside from that, really enjoyed it. I mean, you can beat them in like 3 hours.
Yeah.
They're not long. It's only like each one's usually 5 episodes. I'm pretty sure they're all 5 episodes, but you can usually buy them all for like $15. That's how much the Wolf Among Us one costs. I mean, it's like a 5-year-old game now at this point, but
I just don't enjoy the experience, really. It's storytelling with extra steps. It's like a movie, but with extra fucking steps. There's nothing to do. I don't want to criticize it for not having combat, because I enjoy games without combat, but it's a comic book with extra steps.
I mean, yeah. But
there's nothing to do. You literally you're moving the pages with your actions that are not really enjoyable to me. You know, it's a walking simulator. It's a walking simulator.
It is.
The in-betweens is a walking simulator with a little bit of dialogue choice.
I wouldn't go that far.
About far off?
You're not too far off, but when I think walking simulator, I immediately think like Firewatch, Death Stranding, stuff like that, where literally all you do is
you walk and then the story expands itself.
As you walk.
But I mean, the same thing happens with those games, right?
Well, not really, because like
you have choices, but do they matter? I mean, some of them do. I do know it splits, but more or less, you're literally walking to expand the story. You pick up this item. Does this do anything? No. You pick up the right item. It does. It triggers whatever's supposed to be the next scene, right?
Yeah, that's always. I mean, that's always been an issue I've had with the Telltale games. Is they always taunt the whole, your decisions matter, your choices reflect this, but basically all it boils down to is like, you'll get maybe a different little 3-second snippet of dialogue. Ultimately, the ending of each episode will be the same. It'll lead into this next thing. So it's the illusion of choice. If you think about it like a
linear
this
plot.
Is gonna be a hard thing for the listeners to think. But if you think of it just like a line and that's the plot, and then you think of like sort of like a spectrograph kind of going up and down on each side, like you can do decisions that influence it to make it stray off of that line, but ultimately it's going to come back to
always going back to your straight plot.
The main plot,
which is, this is weird to bring up, but this is why people loved Mass Effect, right? Because
not the third one,
but the choices actually carried over,
or Andromeda,
because the choices actually carried over not to just the game itself, but to the second one as well. Yeah. So you could reload. So that not a lot of games actually take that commitment. And
well, this is weird that you say that, because when I played through The Wolf Among Us last night, I was noticing, the Telltale thing where they do so and so will remember that.
Yeah,
or
well, that's any game. I think.
Such and such, Fallout thing such and such did not like that. There were some that popped up where I was like, why would they remember that? I'm in episode 4. I know they're not going to get any screen time. Did they already plan a sequel like ahead of time and just never got around to it? Because that's what they did with The Walking Dead episode 2, or the second one, Walking Dead 2, where you play as Clementine. The decisions you made in the first Walking Dead kind of blended over into that one.
Kind of blended.
Kind of. Kenny shows up and he kind of alludes to some stuff that happened in the first 5 episodes. So I was like, why did they never make Wolf Among Us 2? And maybe that would have saved them from going bankrupt or whatever. But hindsight, it's 2020. What are you gonna do?
Nah, that's funny. It was actually harsh the way they shut down. Like, they literally just one day, out of nowhere, they were just, everyone from that studio started tweeting, was like, I think we lost our jobs. And then like hours later, they're like, we all lost our jobs. We're all going home. And it was like, God, it was like watching a fire from afar, just like, oh man, that's a sad tweet. Holy shit. And it's just like watching just sparks fall from a studio. Well, we don't know what's going to happen to our games. This is over. Yeah, that's rough.
I don't know how they made money off of them, honestly. Because even when they were like...
Well, when your engine doesn't run and they made it 20 years ago and I don't know. That's just me talking shit.
But not only that, but like when The Walking Dead came out, I think each episode was like, what, $3, $4 or $5? Something like that?
I have no idea. Like I said, I played the first one and...
Well, you bought them episodically. Remember, they did that whole episodic thing.
I never bought them. I went to a friend's house. I was like, hey, I'm going to try this out. And I played it and I made it, I don't know. I did a couple of decisions and I was like, nope.
Not for you.
Yep, not for me.
But yeah, I mean, they made them really cheap, I guess. Maybe that's how they got... Maybe that's why they went defunct. Didn't have the money for it anymore. Because I only paid $15 for Wolf Among Us, but like I said, it's a 5-year-old game now, so... I don't know. That's my week.
We get a bit winded.
A little bit.
So if that concludes the week, what does that mean?
That doesn't conclude the week. First day of school was today.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
you got me hype. Had my palms all sweaty, knees weak.
Yeah, no, this isn't a game.
I was ready. We got news. I'm sorry. We got news.
This is the first day of the spring semester, and it fucked up my sleep schedule, all out of whack. So there was that. That's also a thing.
Was that it?
That was it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Titans tie.
Okay.
Well, I guess that moves us on to the news for this week. I feel like we're back. I know I said that last week. We're back into full swing. Everything's getting more energized. News is coming out. More games are starting to
unfold.
Yeah, more games are showing their little tantalizing tangles, if you will. Pokemon had a...
It's a game.
It is a game. It's actually a really big game. And it did a thing this week that I don't think anybody was expecting.
Elaborate.
Game Freak announced Pokemon's first DLC. Kinda took me... It caught me off guard. I'm not gonna lie. Pokemon does not seem like a game that you would do DLC for. I think free expansions would be okay.
Does paid DLC?
Yes.
Oof.
Yeah. This is it's a little rough. But I mean, I understand the...
How'd the data miners not see that coming?
Well, how are you supposed to see something that's not attached to your cart?
Damn.
Yeah.
Usually they're on that shit.
Yeah. But, I don't know how to exactly feel about it. I do understand that this is a new age of gaming, and everybody's got to get on this bandwagon of new content. So, here we are.
Do we have the completed decks now?
We're going to get into that, and I don't like this.
Okay.
So, Pokemon announced the DLC, which is supposed to be 2 expansions per game.
So, 4?
Well, per game. So, Sword, you know how the games are so similar?
Yes.
So, you'll have 2 expansions per game. They'll all have slightly different shit for each one.
So, there's 2 expansions for each one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. They continue right from your save file. One's coming out in June, one in August. Once you purchase the expansion, quote pack, it's good for both of these game expansions. So I think it's $30 for both of them. But that's only for one game. A lot of people are arguing over that.
So if you have both games, you have to shell out
$60.
$60. Oh.
$60 for 2 different essentially 4 expansions.
It's boycott Nintendo.
Which, granted, they're going to be pretty similar, so what's the point? But there are some diehard Nintendo fans that would really enjoy, because they're adding new areas, I think it's 2 new areas, and new available Pokemon in each areas. They're adding to the Pokedex, which I'm going to get to in a second, how I feel about it, rather.
Which version did you get?
I didn't get either one of them.
Oh.
But I still have an opinion.
Okay.
Yeah. These expansions include 2 new islands to explore, a whole new storyline, new Pokemon from the, quote, Galar, and as well as the return of some old favorites that did not make it into the initial decks, more new legendaries, new outfits and accessories and customizations. Okay, so...
They might as well just give you a stock in Nintendo at that point from buying all that.
So let's just tackle it right on.
Well, they $40.
This is retarded. Is that the worst thing to say?
No, that's pretty.
This is stupid. I appreciate them giving us more for a little bit more. That's how games work nowadays. But them holding the decks back to sell it to us.
It's a little underhanded.
This feels like betrayal.
Feeding you poison and then making you buy the antidote.
Yeah, this feels like betrayal. At first, when they said it, it sounded good. They made it sound good. Oh, well, it's a whole new game. It's a whole new engine we would have to develop and make the Pokemon. We can't just be expected to port everything over and make them work. We have 800 and some Pokemon. how are we supposed to render them and do all this stuff? And you're like, okay, granted.
We've said it before, though. They could absolutely do it.
They could absolutely do it, but I get it. I get it. You know, there's a lot. There's a lot of Pokemon.
This is what they were working on instead of doing the national decks.
Yeah. So instead of actually giving you the game and giving you all the Pokemon up front, now you could pay more money to get the rest of your Pokemon.
Hooray!
Well, not exactly. Because with the new update, people that don't buy this will be able to receive the Pokemon from the new expansion. But they cannot catch them. They can be traded and everything else.
So you can buy. So essentially, if you have a friend group, you can just have one dude who gets
that buys the expansion and wants to send you them all, so you can complete your decks.
I mean, that's all you got to do at that point.
But that still defeats you as a Pokemon trainer that wants to catch them all. You can't catch them all. You got to trade them all.
Nobody plays Pokemon for that. It's in-game battles, dog. It's competitive.
I think that's a little shady, and that hurts. I don't think it hurts anyway. I think Game Freak done this to themselves. Before this whole debacle came out about what they call it? They called it Dexit. You know, like Brexit.
Yeah.
They called it Dexit. Before the Dexit happened, everyone seen through this disguise. They didn't think it would be quite this bad, but this seems pretty shady. This almost seems like I seen a meme. It was like Game Freak, but the last couple of letters where the E and the A goes in Game Freak, it was the EA logo.
Yep.
Yeah, the game EA.
Nice.
Yeah, Game for EA. Yeah.
Any updates on the Pokemon Cloud?
Oh, this is all going to be coming around the same time with Pokemon. I think it's called Pokemon Home.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yep, so this is all going to be launching around the same time, so you'll be able to move Pokemon around, do all the stuff, but when they get ported to your game, they're all going to lose their abilities that are not native to the game. I talk a lot with my hands. I'm glad you guys can't see me, because I talk to Cuff like I'm explaining something to a developer or something.
It looks like Sean Evans from Hot Ones, just...
Yeah, but, yeah, they're going to lose all their moves, all their old stuff that would have been... what you have grown to love, I guess. I've never been a big meta end game.
They won't lose a lot, right?
There's moves that some people did enjoy that won't be available to the new.
Like what? Like the Z moves? Like
no, like actual moves, like actual base moves have been removed.
Like what?
I couldn't tell you, but you can look them up. There's a list.
That's baloney. There's got to be. Nah, I don't. There's got to be a workaround behind that.
No, if the move is not in the new game and it's on the old game and you move them over to home and port them to this game, like the move gets forgotten and you can replace it with something else.
What type of moves? That's the information I want to know.
I mean, we can
from the competitive standpoint.
Yeah, you can look it up.
I don't want to do that now.
I know, but this seems premature on their half. It seems like not a lot was thought through, and they just, I don't know, doesn't seem.
Very underhanded for somebody like Nintendo and Game Freak to do, I feel like. I
don't feel like this was good for players. I don't think this is a good choice for the company in general. It makes them look shady. It makes them look like fucking EA.
Literally like 2 months after they were like, yeah, you can't do the whole deck. Sorry, guys. And here's DLC that you have to pay twice.
And there's new legendaries locked behind the paywall. And I'm going to call it a paywall. Just because you can't catch them. You have to be traded them. Is that, I mean, it's a half-assed paywall, right? You can't catch them yourself. You have to get traded them. You have to interact with civilized people on the internet.
Isn't every DLC technically a paywall of some kind?
Yeah, but this one has that aspect of where you don't have to buy it to get the Pokemon if you feel like trading for it, and you don't have to earn it yourself as long as you feel like
but if you're
going to forums and begging people to trade you this for that.
Yeah, but if you're a Pokemon fan,
you'll probably get this.
You'll shell out $15 for.
But most of the time, when you're a Pokemon fan, especially for us when we were younger, did we have $30?
I mean,
I never had any money when I was playing Pokemon. So I think of the kids that are doing it nowadays.
The kids aren't playing Pokemon these days.
I mean, some of them are.
I mean, some of them maybe. They're more on that Fortnite train.
I think Fortnite's moving out.
The people that are playing Pokemon are people in our age group who grew up with it on the Game Boy days. That's where the fan base is at.
Maybe, to a degree. But
I guarantee, I'd love to see the census behind that. I want the Ben Shapiro stats. You know?
Yeah.
I want the statistics. I want the numbers. I want to see the age group
I want
difference.
Ben Shapiro to answer it.
To play Pokemon. Let's write him a message. Have him do it on what's his podcast called?
I have no idea.
I forget.
Something fuck the liberals or something. Something like that.
Leftist tears.
Yeah. I think that's about right. As much as I
fuck the liberals.
Yeah, sounds right. It's quality of life.
Pause that real quick. Bernie Sanders is leading the polls in the
Democratic
the Democratic Party right now. Wonder how Ben Shapiro feels about that, because in the 2016 election, when he was running against Hillary and then dropped out, boy, Ben Shapiro just chewed him up. So now that he's back and doing his Bernie Sanders thing, whatever he does, I don't really know. I guess that's got to be eaten.
Promotes free stuff, I guess.
Yeah, that's got to be eaten up at Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
Love him to death. Don't get me wrong, but boy, is he passionate about his ideals, I guess you could say.
About as passionate as we are about games?
There you go. We're the Ben Shapiro of games.
I don't know about that. But back to the Pokemon thing.
Let's get him on the podcast.
I understand that this had to happen for Pokemon at some point, but I think it could have been executed way better. This seems dirty and cheap, and every... You want me to do it like Ben Shapiro? This seems dirty and cheap in every way. It's
already been proven in the 2017 court case. Nintendo versus EA. This does not work. This is inefficient, and you should just be laughing at yourselves. Honestly, like this is bound to fail. It's going to crash. So there's my Ben Shapiro.
That was really good.
Oh, thanks. I've seen a lot of his Thug Life compilations on YouTube.
But that wasn't the only thing that Game Freak had to announce. Pokemon has another new game as well coming out. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Rescue Team. I don't think that's what it's called. I think it's just Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Rescue Team releasing on the Switch March 2020. There's a demo out now. It's Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Did you ever play any of them?
No. That was the one where you played as the actual Pokemon.
Yeah, it's like a little roguelike.
Yeah.
I guess, where you're an actual Pokemon and you dive down and you...
I remember it, but...
kind of tap battle or have one or two moves.
Yeah. I remember seeing it.
People love that shit. I don't get it. Well, I played it a little, but I don't understand the hype behind it.
I was a Pokemon Stadium guy.
I'm more of the base form RPG guy. I can't... I mean, I can see the appeal a bit, especially if you're younger and the Mystery Dungeon thing.
Remake Pokemon Snap.
Please.
That'd be hype. You already got the technology. Every phone has it.
Well, not even that. I just want the Switch gyroscope to be able to look around.
There you go.
Yeah. As far as that Direct went, for me, that's pretty much all they had was all that. Lackluster to me. I think they betrayed the Pokemon fan base. Whoa. I feel like I'm using harsh words, but not really. I do think that was pretty shitty of Game Freak to do. There's no reason to half-ass your decks and then charge your fans $30 more extra dollars.
Slap them with a fee.
Yeah, to actually catch them yourselves or wait for your friends to trade them to them.
Did they show who's all in the new decks?
They did. I don't have.
Or like the returning Pokemon.
Yeah, they did. They showed a couple.
Any noteworthy mentions you can remember?
Mm-mm. I just watched the. It was a very weird Direct. If you, I don't know if anyone else was watching it like live. It actually had the first scene on repeat for like three repeats. So it was like a scene, and then you watched it, and then it was that scene again, and then you watched it, and then it was that scene again, and I was like, is this all that Direct? Is this, what the hell is this? And then it cut to Game Freak and the development team talking about stuff, and I was like, that's not good.
Somebody got fired up in the
that didn't seem good to me. But, yeah. I was really hoping for a Diamond and Pearl. Everyone was really hoping for a Diamond and Pearl remake. I was hoping for Diamond and Pearl remake in the
3D style?
Well, the Pokemon Let's Go.
Ah.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking of that there was a way they were going to take a new remake as opposed to put them on the 3DS. 3DS is dead. Let it sail off. Fucking shoot a fucking flaming arrow in it, send it off into the thing. Yeah, it's dead. I was hoping for that. We didn't get that. We didn't get shit. I watched a repeat of a scene 3 times and then awkward Japanese people talk about a game with a translator.
Nice. Random question. Do you remember Pokemon Uranium? I believe it was called. Remember when that was a thing in the works?
No.
Or to summarize...
that sounds like a fan-made thing.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of ties into the whole thing of Nintendo hates people.
Well, they absolutely hate anybody that's not working for them.
Yeah.
That's that.
Whether it be Let's Plays, YouTube's, reviews, anything fan-made, Nintendo they will straight up sue at the drop of a hat. But essentially what it was it was a free fan-made Pokemon game. Like, from what I understand, I didn't play it, but an entire, 2D Pokemon game,
Red, Blue.
Emerald, Red, Blue. Yeah, those kind of genre. But it had all the Pokemon and stuff in it, but it added a new type called Uranium, I believe.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah. And it made its way around the internet, and then Nintendo shut them down.
It got a lot of traction because the dude who made it wasn't making money off of it because it was free, if I'm not mistaken. And then Nintendo seen that and was like, damn, there's an opportunity here. So let's buy up the rights to it, and then, do royalties or whatever. And then, at the last second, they just fell through, and they were like, no, we don't like that, actually. So.
That was the nuclear waste Pokemon thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it.
I remember it made its way. You can probably still download the ROM hacks of that.
Probably. I mean, they've got fucking Minecraft Pokemon mods and shit. It's people love the Pokemon. What they don't love is being charged $60 to buy 2 DLCs for their 2 games. Because, make as much money as possible.
Yep, GamefrEAk's. Did you like that? I didn't make that up. Anyway, moving on. We got stuck on that, but that was a pretty big tangent on our list. Anyway, let's move on down the list to this is a little weird, but understandable. Microsoft has announced that there will be no exclusives for Xbox Series X for at least a year.
From a lease?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Well, their whole take on this is they don't want to abandon the ecosystem that they've already kind of maintained.
Okay.
That being the Xbox One original, the Xbox S, and then the Xbox One. Or the Xbox One X.
Quality fucking titles.
These names are so ridiculous. So, let me try that again. The Xbox One, the Xbox One S, and then the Xbox One X. Right? Those are the ones we have now, right?
I believe so.
Okay. So, with the X series, they don't want to abandon the earlier iterations of the console because of their lack of graphical capabilities or anything like that. So, I guess they're just going to try to roll the content out towards them. So instead of just being, hey, there's a new game, a new console, new exclusive, it's going to be for all of them.
Okay, that's an interesting strategy. Not one I really agree with, but okay.
So, I think that's terrible.
I mean, yeah. Well, you want to get a new console, but not have nothing to play on it. You know?
Yeah. I mean, you have new stuff to play on it, obviously.
I mean, for sure.
But it won't be, exclusive to it, so there's no reason to buy it. The only reason to buy it would be it'll look better and play better.
There you go.
You know, that's literally your only reason to, or why, you know? I'm sure enthusiasts like me and yourself will probably be day ones on, the newer consoles. I'm not going to say I'm going to be the first one to bang down the door for a fucking Xbox X Series. Or Series X.
Depending on when it comes out. I'll trample a kid for a PS5.
There you go. That paired with Game Pass, a lot of their new releases are coming out on Game Pass, so I don't see the enthusiasm for even trying to get a new console if they're just going to release something that will be played on older hardware that I can obviously get on PC through Game Pass.
That brings up a good point. I need to try out the PlayStation Now thing Because I'm pretty sure that's their answer to the Game Pass thing. I haven't really looked into it too much, but every time I scroll past it on the PlayStation Store, it always has like a fancy banner of like, you know, however many 100+ games at your fingertips, whatever, blah, and then it's like, you know, on the little banner thing, it has little snippets. It's pretty top-notch shit, like Horizon.
It's not as bad as it used to be. It used to be all streams. Now, most PS4 games can be downloaded. You don't have to stream them. I think the same as for PS2, all the older stuff you can download. Only PS3 games are streamed, so it's not really an answer to backwards compatibility, but in terms of like the Game Pass thing, yeah, it's somewhat, but I don't think it... I'm a huge fan of Game Pass right now, and I don't think Sony has an answer to that, because they're making enough money in the console wars that there's no reason to even attempt to answer why. You know? Like, what the fuck? If you're making twice as much money as the competitor, I wouldn't put all my games out for, you know...
True that.
A banner price for 100 of them. That just seems like a losing situation. Especially, I don't think they can compare either.
I need to do some more research into it, because I've hit kind of a lull in my my backlog right now, of where it's a long way till March when you ain't got nothing to play really.
Yeah.
Or nothing new to play. I guess I should say. So check that out. See what happens with that.
One of the interesting notes that I picked up from one of the guys that I watch, Spawn Wave. I reference him a lot on here.
The only guy.
No, there's a couple more, but he brought up an interesting point to where with the new console, are we going to be seeing a degradation of quality just because they're trying to hold on to the older series? Like, is our newer games going to not be as quality as they should be or can be just because they're holding on to older hardware?
Good point. First try.
Yeah.
I don't understand what you just asked me, but...
Well, because they're, instead of just rolling out new releases that'll be strictly for Xbox Series X, if you will, whatever they want to call it, they want to slowly roll them out to where, hey, our newer games can be played on these older systems, as well as the new systems. Well, is that not going to limit what they can do with the new console?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's hindering themselves. What's the point of actually releasing a new console if you're not...
Native 4K.
I mean, yeah, but that's just, that's just upscaling an old game or up-resing, whatever you want to call it. That's still... That's silly.
It's a new console. It's shiny.
It will be shiny. It'll have new features. But what is the point of all these new things if you can't maximize it to its full potential because you're trying to hold on? Well, you don't want to ostracize your old fan base.
I don't know.
I mean, we're here for the banter, man. I mean, I understand. I don't get it either, but it seems like a very...
This is gaming in 2020.
Yeah.
We have consoles with no exclusives for a year.
For no fucking reason.
Pokemon with DLC. Sony's ducking out of E3.
Whoa.
Oh.
You're leaking.
Sorry.
It's all good. But I do think that's the silliest shit a console manufacturer could do, is boast all this new hardware, boast all these new features, and then pretty much say they're...
So what's all that stuff they showed off at the VGAs? What is...
They apparently will be for the console, and if they're going to be launch titles, they will be available for everything else.
Well, there's your games right there.
But they're not exclusive.
What?
They're not exclusives to the new console.
Did they not have, like, only on Xbox and shit on the thing at the VGAs?
No. Most of them are on PC as well.
I mean... Isn't that one and the same?
No.
Xbox and Windows?
I mean, it should be, but that's technically not an exclusive.
Okay, all right.
I mean, it really isn't.
That's the workaround.
It's not an exclusive.
Well, you upped all that shit. You anteed up all that whole thing.
This is not to do with the PC at all. I'm saying that they will be available for the Xbox
and
One,
the Windows gaming store, Microsoft store.
I mean, well, yeah, but they'll be available for the older generations as well.
Okay.
If they were available just for the X series and PC, I guess that's technically not exclusive either, but it would be exclusive to the console and PC, which would make it...
So this is just fake news. This is just puffery.
No, not really.
The Xbox X is coming out,
mm-hmm.
and there are games coming out for it, and as well as
the older generation.
So what's the issue?
There's nothing incentivizing you to buy the new console.
It'll look better.
But there's nothing literally making you...
Why did you buy your stuff for your computer?
I mean, to play PC games and stream a lot, and to do this.
Okay. Why did you upgrade your graphics card and stuff like that?
Because I didn't like the way things ran.
Well, there you go. Maybe.
But why do you buy new consoles? To buy the new exclusives.
Would you have ever buy them specifically for the exclusives? That's why I don't own a Switch.
But you want a Switch.
I'll take one if anybody wants to give me one. I'm not about to run out and drop $300 on a Switch. I don't see the issue here.
I see.
Now that you clarified it, I'm not seeing a problem.
I'm just saying that I think the problem is there's a whole new console coming out with no incentive to buy it. There's no games. Normally, the whole reason to buy a console is there's an exclusive to it.
Well, that's holding somebody hostage.
Well, that's what consoles do. That's
sure.
The whole reason you upgrade normally. That's the whole reason you choose a side.
But they're getting rid of that, so...
Why be a console manufacturer if that's what you're doing?
Because if you want to buy the new one, you can. Nobody's telling you to. So, I mean...
That's never been a thing for consoles before. Normally, when you have a new console, 360 had, the new Halo had some Gears. The PlayStation 3 had Resistance. Infamous. You know, every new console generation has that exclusive that incentivizes you to buy. And right off the bat, well, not quite right off the bat, 2 months after the big reveal, Xbox is just like, yeah, we don't really have exclusives planned for about a year. About a year. And everyone's like, what the fuck is the point?
Alright.
But, you know, like you said, I mean, I get that.
No,
No, I mean, I get it. You can get it if you want your games to look prettier and all that good stuff, but there's no real incentive to actually like, oh man, I gotta play the new Halo. You fucking play it on your goddamn Xbox One X.
There you go. You have a choice.
I used to think Nintendo was going to be the company that went defunct and just started selling subscription services or selling their games on other consoles.
Mm-hmm.
But now it does seem, to me, like Microsoft might be that company.
It goes defunct?
The Xbox branding, if you will.
I don't think so.
Instead of just being an Xbox console, they just have Xbox branded games that you can just get for everything. Same thing that what everyone thought Nintendo before the Switch released. Where they were like, we don't know about this. No?
I don't know. Sure.
I just think it's a very interesting approach to a new console generation. Just like what you said. It's 2020.
Hell yeah.
Consoles releasing without...
New decade, new business models.
Yeah. Consoles releasing without exclusives. Pokemon getting DLC. What a wild world we live in.
But to reiterate, there are exclusives coming out for it. To Xbox in general.
To the Xbox brand.
Alright. And that's not an exclusive how?
It's not exclusive for the console itself.
Okay.
It's not exclusive for the X series or whatever it's supposed to be called.
Okay.
It will be available for the previous gens. That being the Xbox One and One X and One S. And
okay.
PC.
Alright.
Silly. Anyway, moving on down the list. Let's keep it in the console spectrum for a minute. You know, Sony. Coney. Was it Coney 2012? Sony skipped E3 last year. We're all pretty aware of that.
Shit company. They're going defunct. God,
yeah.
Oh, man. The
so
fuck are they doing?
Sony is actually...
Spawnwave said they're a piece of shit. What are they even doing anymore? Quit make cars. Just go ahead.
They actually did?
Yeah.
But Sony's actually skipping E3 again this year in favor of their own...
This is a hype tactic, right?
They've been doing it for 2 years. So, yeah.
This is the edgy guy that sits in the corner and is like, oh, those guys up on stage. Don't look at them. I'm Sony. I want attention. I need my own spotlight. Right?
A little bit, yeah.
That was good.
But I mean, when they're leading the console race, I guess they can do whatever they want. But anyway, they're skipping E3 again this year. They have scheduled an event in New York called Experience PlayStation Station. It'll be taking place between the 14th of January and the 16th of February. So, good luck with whatever the fuck that means. Just somewhere.
What? It's a month long?
No, it's just that's
their rumor mill.
Okay, that's the rumor mill.
That's their schedule. All right.
Yeah, so just throw a dart at a calendar and, I don't know, pray. I don't know. But all words are pretty much looking towards PS5 release date, price point, more info.
Are they going to be the first one to flex specs?
I don't know. We'll see. No one's really talked specs yet, other than teraflops, flops. So, I don't know what Sony's gonna do. Who the fuck knows?
They're gonna flex nuts.
Obviously. I don't think E3 is. This is gonna be me being media biased, if I'm using the right term. I don't think E3 is needed anymore.
No, it's basically a meme at this point.
Yeah.
Once Twitch started getting involved with it, it became a meme, I think.
Jason Schreier wrote an interesting article over on Kotaku talking about how E3 is basically just irrelevant now.
Yeah.
I mean, last year's E3 had the appearance that it was a huge trade show or electronics expo, but it declined in quality, and it was just not as much as we were used to. I remember being a kid, going to school, coming home, and then watching...
Turn on the E3 G4 Tech TV week.
Exactly, and that shit was huge to us.
Yeah.
But now with the internet, there's nothing but constant gaming news every day, all the time.
Yeah, it's flooded.
There's nothing you can do about that.
You can completely miss E3.
And then
literally the next day be like, oh, here's the reveal trailer for this. All right, cool.
There's no need for it anymore.
Yeah.
And Sony last year, I think, was a little... I don't know the word, but a little cocky, I would say. With just being like, we don't need to be there. But doing that kind of showed a little balls, and they're right. I mean, yeah, they're working on stuff they didn't have ready for release. So that's also why, but here they are next year, and they're just like, oh, we got plenty of shit to show, but we're not going to go. You know, they got to have fucking lined up exclusives. They got to have console ready. Everything's got to be ready by the end of this year. Xbox just chose to go with the Game Awards to do a half-ass. I don't want to call it half-ass because that sounds bad. To do a half, kind of like an announcement. They showed a little bit. Not as much as I would want.
It's a gaming tower.
I mean, yeah, but they didn't show specs. They didn't show price.
I mean, why would you? That's shooting yourself in the foot at that point.
Well, at this close to development or at the ass end of development and production,
you say ass end, but it's literally a year away still.
Yeah, but in order to have goddamn 1 million units ready by the end of this year, you pretty much got to have your shit set, founded, you know? Like, it's got to be pretty close to being set in stone. You can't just...
I don't know about that. That's still 10 months away. That's a lot you can get done in. 10 months.
But in terms of manufacturing, I don't know how that shit works. I'm just saying.
I mean, I don't either. I'm sure they got the shit down to a T at this point since they've been doing it for fucking 15 years now. So.
But I would assume that.
Sorry, 20 years. My bad. I don't know where the fuck I said 15 for.
I would assume everything's probably written in stone, all the specs. I mean, what more haggling can you do within 10 months to? Because they have to have chipsets, motherboards. They have to have all that shit ready.
I mean, I'm assuming it's an assembly line. You make it sound like this is one dude who has to shell out these consoles or something.
No, but I'm saying, like, you have to have these agreements in order. Like, hey, they're working a lot with AMD. That's everybody. Both of these companies are using AMD chipsets now. So they have to be in order with them. Like, hey, we want this many chipsets ready by this date. That way we can start production on this date just so we can have it ready for holiday 2020. That's not something you just sit around in January. I wouldn't assume that you just sit around in January of 2020 just like...
You think it takes 10 months to ship chips?
I don't know.
I don't think it does.
But I don't know what kind of red tape and all that good shit goes behind, you know, like actually...
I'm sure there's always going to be red tape, but in terms of production, I'm sure they can just bang them out like nobody's business.
But you can't just change your mind last minute. You'd be like, so if Xbox...
Well, again, it's not last minute. It's 10 months away.
But to have 1 million units and everything ready and play tested, and that's a lot. You gotta have... There's gotta be a lot more to it. It's not just like, hey, we're gonna bang on 1 million consoles. They're ready to go. You gotta probably batch out thousands of sets and have people fucking trial and error them. Hey, these are ready for fucking store shelves, and then those were prototype models. You know what I mean? You can't just be like, okay, we're ready, and then just start printing out consoles. I mean, if you look back at the 360 days, I guess that is what happened, because goddamn, they started failing like shit. Same thing with PS3, actually. Yeah, they had fucking yellow light of death. You know, I'm sure console manufacturers have learned since then.
Hopefully.
I would hope so. But, you know, technology's also gotten better, so that's a whole other thing. Everything runs faster and cooler with...
Shit's gonna be water cooled now.
You would hope. But I do, me being a Sony pony, if you will, I do look forward to...
When are you a Sony pony?
I've always been a Sony fanboy, man.
You didn't touch your Sony... You ain't even touched your Sony pony.
I have. You just don't know about it.
Oh, okay. Alright.
But, I hope for the best. I think they'll price drop and everything probably within the coming months. Get us all hyped.
That seems to be the big thing. Whoever shows off their price first, that's whoever loses. Reference to Xbox One and PS4.
Well, it wasn't the price that killed the Xbox One. It was their DMR.
I think it was the price. Because if you remember, like, PlayStation came out on stage and they were like, well, I think it was like $100 cheaper or something. And you would have thought Jesus had descended onto the stage.
It was literally that DMR.
I don't think so.
Where Xbox was like, we need always online. You can't share your games. And and Sony came out like the next day with like a meme video. It's like, this is how you share games on PlayStation. It was like Sean handing fucking Shuhei fucking, I don't know.
I don't know either, but
they just literally handed a game to the next guy and was like, thank you.
I never got that whole drama of always online thing.
It's anti-piracy. You couldn't share your physical media is what Xbox was touting last gen.
It's bad. It's bad. Shut it down.
But I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, let's move on to a little more game-centric news. Apex Legends is apparently still a game. Did you know it's still a game?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, me too. Apparently.
Coming up on its year anniversary, right?
Yeah. Well, it's finally getting somewhat of new game modes.
Okay.
Not what everybody would want, because they're temporary game modes, as you see on the notes. I have it in quotations. Temporary game modes. These temporary game modes will run through the 14th to the 28th. So actually starting tomorrow, or today, if this gets out on time, there's actually going to be 7 different modes, including, but not limited to, had to put that reminder in my head, duos. Goddamn, how long...
That's already a game mode.
In what?
Apex Legends.
No.
Yeah. Me and Jesse played duos 2 months ago.
They're cycled.
Oh, okay. Well,
yep.
All right.
So this is so you're getting duos again, temporary. That's why I put that in quotations. You're getting a third-person mode.
Interesting.
Which has always been touted for. Everybody on Twitter that I know of was like, oh, I mean, third person. And there's a mode called Live, Die, Live, which is an auto respawn mode. As long as one person of your squad lives, you'll be able to respawn on them.
Ooh, neat.
There's Fast Ring mode, where the ring just constantly shrinks. There was one more I tried to remember, but I didn't want to put all that on the notes.
I like the Halloween one. I don't remember what it's called, like the Revenants or something.
The dark mode?
Yeah, where if you die, you become a zombie.
Oh, I don't know. That one's coming back, but not without the zombies.
Oh.
Or without the zombies, not with it, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, the King Canyon dark mode is coming back, but you won't do the zombie thing.
Damn. That was a fun game mode.
Why are they not, like, letting those modes stay?
I don't know.
Why do companies do this?
I've given up at this point.
This is very far from this, but Rainbow Six Siege.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, they did the Halloween event, and it seemed like so much went into that event.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just went away.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the whole zombie storyline mode?
Yeah.
And then it went away.
It's a limited. It's like the McRib. You know, it comes around for a limited time. You gotta
but
buy
there's
it up.
so much effort into that.
I mean, I'm sure.
But
I'm sure they make it back through limited time loot boxes and limited time Apex packs and whatever the fuck.
But who suffers?
Everybody.
The gamers.
Do we suffer?
A little bit. Say somebody.
It's all free, right?
I mean, yeah, but say somebody really loved that fucking mode from any of this. Why isn't it not available constantly?
I don't know. Let's just stop playing games. We're done. We're done here. Not
all
a good
podcast over.
Not a good year for games. Everything's shit.
13 days into 2020. So
yep, it's done. It's episode 19, last one.
But
not a good bit of news so far out of all this.
What? This is all good news.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't understand the whole temporary thing. Shit kind of bums me out. I appreciate they giving you free stuff and doing different things for said games, but I guess they giveth, they taketh if they want to. But when people bang the drum for something that they really, really want, and then you give it to them temporarily just to take it away, and just like you said, there will be exclusive content available for this. There'll be, loot crates, whatever they're called in this.
Of course.
Yeah. So you'll get exclusive skins and stuff you can farm for in these, I don't know, what is it, 10 days? A little over. Yeah, 14 days. So you better get ready.
Dust off your Apex skills and enjoy that, I guess, for 2 weeks.
It's rough.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think so.
Rough year for games.
This is something that I think you would care about, but we went to look it up, and you didn't want to look at it because you're like, spoilers.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
But Resident Evil 3 dropped a thing about a week ago, I think, where they will be removing the multiple ending scenarios in Resident Evil 3.
Didn't even know I had multiple endings.
Yeah.
Don't know the ending of the game.
They're not that different. There's 3 endings.
Mm-hmm.
And two of them are the same, but with a little bit of difference. And then one more is like a completely different scenario.
Right.
And only one's canon.
Of course.
Yeah. So, makes sense. They'll probably make the canon one actually canon.
Nice.
But when it comes to hardcore fans, I'm sure some people are disappointed. But with the way the Resident Evil's doing their things nowadays, and the way Capcom is actually handling Resident Evil, which is like their goddamn cherished baby. Yes. Because motherfucker have they not treated them like shit. before RE7 and or RE Remake, these games got shit treatment, just rehashed almost Ubisoft level.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, they took 4 and was like, this is good, and they did 5, and everyone was like, okay, that's okay.
That's a punch
and then they did 6, and then everyone was like, why? Why the hell did you do this? And then they did, what, Umbrella Chronicles? And no one knew what the fuck was going on. So, at least, the least you could say is that Capcom is trying their hardest to take care of their baby.
Thank God.
Yeah. I'm sure Capcom has a couple of babies, right? You know.
Yeah, they're pretty big. They're a pretty big gaming company.
But Resident Evil seems to have treated them well within the last couple of years, especially with their remakes.
Nice.
I like the way they say that. The remakes. I don't think this doesn't affect me at all.
No.
I beat Resident Evil 3 fucking forever ago. I was a wee child.
A wee lad.
A wee little lad. Scared to put the disc in. You know?
Yeah.
Literally. Just because of ambient music and the terrible camera angles. I didn't know they were terrible camera angles.
Boy, did we learn.
But as you get older. And then I replayed it on my Vita, and I still didn't even beat it on that. Because I was going for that perfect Deagle run.
It's a rough run.
He looks into the distance.
It eludes me.
PTSD ensues. But yeah, that doesn't affect me. I think the game would be great. The trailer we've seen was great.
Everything about it's great.
Yeah, everything Capcom's been shitting out so far.
They're going to be hard pressed to mess up anything.
Except for maybe that online. Was it Resistance?
I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, but that could be bad.
But
as long as it's tacked on to your main wholesome Resident Evil 3, I think we'll be okay.
I don't give a fuck about that. Give me the game. Give me the story. Give me the campaign.
Yeah. That about wraps it up for news.
Good news.
I tried. Did I do good this week?
Yes.
I had good bullet points.
Yes.
I tried.
Very, very professional.
I don't know if it's professional. Anyway, let's move on to what we care about. This week on What We Care About, I tried to do something a bit different. Instead of just saying something is a port or whatever, I disregarded that, but not really. All the ports are fucking gone, and all these are actual new releases. So, these aren't fucking ports. These are actual new goddamn releases. Do we care about all of them? Probably not. But we tried to look into them the best we could, and was gonna tell you that they're coming out. That's what we do. That's what we care about.
Pick those games up. Get them.
Nah. Anyway, Long Way Down is coming to PC. This kind of reminds you of in the description was
Card Capture Sakura.
Really? Is that what it reminded you of?
It was
I feel like I know that game. What the fuck is that?
That's a show. It used to come on Toonami.
Were they capture them on the
Toonami, I believe?
They capture them cards?
It was a cross between Yu-Gi-Oh! And like Digimon or something. They didn't capture monsters in Pokemon. They captured them in the cards. Remember it was a little pink-haired girl?
I don't remember it at all. I remember it. It sounded so familiar. But
Long Way Down is a dungeon crawler, roguelike, card-based RPG.
Almost kind of. What are those games called where you have the squares? Like RTS?
Like Fire Emblem, Fire Emblem like type.
It had
shit.
like the little square-based.
Yeah.
So it almost looked like an RTS, but it had RPG elements where you had a card, like a card game RPG.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming your deck of cards is like your
moveset.
Yeah. So.
I'm not a huge fan of those type of games.
No, they take a lot to get into, no doubt. Because
there was a couple I've played back in the day that I got into, like Mega Man Battle Network.
Oh, you're talking about the card aspect of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've never been one for the card-based games.
Yeah. Dude, did you see my eyes light up?
No, I just have nightmares from acid, so I don't want to.
Oh, Metal Gear Acid.
Yeah, no, that was
actually that kind of really reminds me of this game. Now that you said that, because it had the squares and he was moving around to the squares.
That game was a shit show.
It wasn't that bad, honestly.
They did that to my Metal Gear.
Yeah, that's all you cared about. You were like, yeah, it's my favorite game series, and they fucked it up.
Just buy something off a whim just because it has the name on it. That's what we did, and it was like.
I mean, that's all we could do. We were kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know how the fuck I got that game. I never bought that, and I had it for PSP. How the fuck did I have that?
Just accumulate games.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not much for the card-based thing, except for the Mega Man Battle Network. I really love those games. I remember Kingdom Hearts tried this kind of thing too.
Oh yeah, they did.
But this had like a little more strategic element. It looked like to it.
Chain of Memories.
Yeah.
Okay.
The GBA game.
Didn't play it.
But this does not look like any of those games. Had some interesting artwork, I thought.
It does. Very comic booky.
Yeah, comic booky. I wanted to call it cel shaded, and then I watched another trailer and was like, no, that wasn't cel shaded.
And it looks more like paintings.
Yeah.
Or something.
A little more, like, a painting as pastels or
very
oil.
Very artistic. Bob Ross-esque, I guess. I don't know.
But if you're into those RPG dungeon crawler with a little spice of cards,
A little Yu-Gi-Oh flavor in there, and just sprinkle that in.
check out Long Way Down. It's actually only coming to PC, so fuck. Who the hell's gonna play that? Anyway, Light Matter.
Mm-hmm.
This one was actually really interesting.
It's not a matter to be taken lightly.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. That's what
we're here for.
Yeah.
It's a puzzle game.
On the surface, but it seemed like it had that wit to it, almost like Portal.
A little bit.
I mean, the game itself looked like Portal, but with lights and shadows instead of.
Yeah, you gotta navigate your way through a ship. I guess it was a space colony, something.
Oh, like a spaceship. You said ship, I thought.
Oh yeah, my bad. But apparently the darkness kills you, so they brought the bad guy in from Tooth Fairy. If you remember that movie.
I do remember that movie.
So it's lurking in the dark trying to kill you, so you have to manipulate light to move to safe spaces and just like any other snowflake, progress your way through the level.
That's funny. Very Portal-esque.
Yeah.
First person, kind of navigating like light beams. It really, really, really reminded me of Portal.
It did look nice though, with the contrast, light and dark stuff.
Yeah. Some of the commentary was also witty, which is also what I appreciate from Portal.
Yep. You got the narrator guy doing his whole spiel.
Always think of those games. I compare them into like 2 to 3 games. It's just Portal or the Stanley Parable or fuck. There's one more I can't remember.
Amnesia.
No, that game has no narration and it's terrifying. Anyway, Light Matter coming to PC this week. Orange Blood.
This is the important one.
I think we got one more important one. I think we got one that everybody will care about.
No, this is the good orange.
Okay.
That other orange one can get out of here.
Well, the other one, the one that looks like a carrot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Orange Blood is a pixel art RPG ? Turn-based thing. You play as little chibi white...
Thing is a really good word to throw in there.
Yeah.
Because turn-based RPG, there was some questionable things that happened. Yeah, I don't know.
There was combat, but then they had like some random
weird
shit going on, like with some Undertale type stuff where you just
in the middle of combat there was some dialogue and they came up and they interacted with each other and interacted with each other in the middle of combat.
Yeah, so I'm all about it. It's got little anime chibi waifu girls that are shooting and blasting thugs while playing like dope music. I'm sold.
I'm a fan of little 8-bit. Would that be 8-bit? We'll just call it pixel art. Pixel art. I love pixel art. I love chiptune. I love anything that reminds me of retro stuff.
Shout out to Katana Zero again. I know we brought that up last podcast, but
I feel like we didn't give it the appreciation it deserved.
It definitely deserves every bit of it.
Yeah, we should have put that in the the weekly last week.
I forgot. Well, we forgot about it until like the last second.
Yeah, but anything that has pixel art and
fluid animations, you know, that whole pixely where stuff's always kind of moving.
Oh yeah, it's like wavy pixel art.
Yeah,
But anything that's pixel art and turn-based combat sells me a lot because I'm a huge fan, obviously, of Pokemon, the earlier Pokemon, and Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 1 through 6 were fantastic. I'm not going to pretend I played them all the way through, or all of them in general. I don't think I played. I'm not going to... Sorry. But yeah, I do love turn-based pixel art goddamn games. There's not enough of them, and I wish Final Fantasy would go back to turn-based games. Anyway.
And you sprinkle in some chibi waifus? You got yourself a goddamn Game of the Year candidate right there, my friend. So...
Would it be crazy at the end of this year?
Orange Blood! Come on up to the stage.
Oh! Oh!
Hell yeah.
Oh! Oh, man.
You might as well save that for last.
Yep, that's what I was about to say. Super Crush KO is a brawler / shoot 'em up.
Yeah.
That's coming to PC and Switch later this week. It looked interesting. I thought the art was a little bland in the trailer we seen. It looked a little bit like Guacamelee. Mm-hmm. If you know the Guacamelee series. I think there's only 2 of them. The Drinkbox Studio games where you beat them up, and it's just a 2D beat them up, a little bit of RPG mechanics in the sense of you could buy moves and kind of do different combos, but more than less it's just a 2D beat 'em up. Mm-hmm. But she had a gun, and
she did, and she punched robots. Don't know what the story is. We watched a little gameplay snippet demo from what was it, like PAX or something. I think
it was PAX. Yeah,
but yeah, she was on some rooftops doing the side scrolling. Left to right thing, beating up robots and shooting them. Little flashy, looked really. Actually, like a high-quality Flash game.
Yeah, that's why I said it looked a little bland. But when you put it like that, it does sound.
I mean, it definitely looks decent. Nothing
flashy, like in terms of like detail. Like the game's fine, but character models, enemy models, and environment was just literally like a Flash game. So I don't know, just a little bland, but it looked fluent and it looked like it could be fun, especially. Like I said, I compared it to Guacamelee, and I beat Guacamelee 1, and I had a lot of fun with that.
I'll bypass that one. Orange Blood is shot to the top of my radar.
And this one should be the best of them all.
I don't know about that.
Just because of the name. Super Mega Space Blaster.
Good touch. Echo throughout space.
Anyway,
if you ever played Asteroids... That's essentially what this is, right?
Yeah.
This is a modern day Asteroids.
It looks like a Flash game of Asteroids.
Yeah. This looked like something jank. God, that hurt when I said it. I feel like I'm shitting on the developer.
I mean, that's what I said. When we tried to watch it, I was like, man, this looks bad. And then I was like, I don't want to say that because I know a lot of people worked on this game. And then the more I watched it, I was like, did a lot of people work on this game? It looked rough. But I mean,
one guy made it, I would be more forgiving. I don't know how many people worked on it, but
I don't know who the fuck made this shit. But it looks like Asteroids, but you have a HUD at the bottom.
It looked like there was some upgrades floating around or something. So I don't know. Modern day Asteroids could have updated the graphics a bit.
It looks like a Flash game.
Yeah,
absolutely. But yeah, Super Mega Space Blaster coming to PC, Nintendo Switch, and PS4. Man, just make that hardware work, huh? Make it work.
All right, prepare for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Viewers, listeners.
This one, I kind of foreshadowed last week when I said next week would be a big week. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot will be coming to Xbox One, PC, and PS4 this week. Man.
Did you spell Kakarot wrong?
No.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Boy. Keep going. Keep talking.
Okay. Anyway, me and Cuff here are pretty big Dragon Ball Z fans. And I hope I didn't spell Kakarot wrong because he's looking that up. What'd I do? Oh, I put rat at the end. Okay, my bad.
Kakarot.
Yeah, I did. My bad. huge Dragon Ball Z fans, and this is supposed to be a open world RPG
storytelling campaign.
Yeah, of Dragon Ball. Or Dragon Ball Z, not Dragon Ball. I don't know. Does it have Dragon Ball in it? I don't think so.
I don't believe so. I believe it started out with the Red Army, so Dragon Ball Z, I believe, is where that happened. When Goku was an adult. We'll put it that way. Because Dragon Ball was him as a wee little child.
A wee baby.
A wee baby.
I want so much for this game to be awesome.
It looks awesome.
Everything about this game looks great.
They got Bandai Namco, who's doing it. Obviously, they
handle every anime.
They handle every anime game, just about. They did, weird little side tangent, they did the Naruto games, the Ultimate Ninja games, which I'm a huge fan of. And the story modes in that game are goddamn hype. So I'm hoping that translates well over into the Kakarot game. And just, it'll be awesome. That's about all I got. That's a tangent I had to say.
Well, the only thing we have as a drawback is that most DBZ games, when they translate to
3D,
the 3D realm, do not do that great.
Yeah, I'm hoping they've
done something.
I don't
have a problem with some of them. You brought to my attention the Tenkaichi series, which, honestly, went over my head as a kid. I remember playing Budokai 1, 2, and 3.
Fantastic games.
Yeah, and you said the Tenkaichi series, and I was like, the Budokai Tenkaichi. No. I was mistaken. I thought they were the same games. No. And then I watched some gameplay for that, and it looks about like the Raging Blast, the Xenoverse.
Xenoverses.
They look rough.
They did not age well at all.
I mean, in terms of, like, aesthetics, they look fine.
Oh, yeah, no, don't get me wrong.
But watching people play them...
It looked rough.
Very stiff and not fun.
Definitely not Dragon Ball Z-esque.
Yeah, you want that hype combat.
Yeah, you want that fast-paced explosions going on.
But they've showed a little combat, and it's hard to tell without hands-on.
Right.
You know, especially with a 3D game like that, a 3D brawler, if that's what you want to call
Especially when you can show the best edits.
Yeah, so we don't really know what's going to come from that. High hopes. All the things they've explained about it sound really cool. One of the tidbits from the trailer we watched earlier said it would be exploring some of the niche lore from the game that would help.
Little side missions you can pick up or something.
That would help, new people to the anime, I guess, learn more about the actual story. So that's cool.
And they had Kyle Ebert do the narration for the trailer.
Yeah, that was the coolest shit. As soon as it started, and it was like, on this episode of Dragon Ball Kakarot. And I was like, God damn, that's cool.
I got to meet him at Animazement.
Really?
Cool guy.
Did he just talk like that the whole time?
No,
I'm sure he didn't.
His normal speaking voice is just like his normal voice. But I mean, he can switch it on a dime. But, yeah, he did the narrator.
I'm half tempted.
He did the narrator for Dragon Ball Z. I don't know if he did Dragon Ball, but he did.
Are you telling me?
He did Gohan also, and Kiba from Naruto.
Are you telling me that Kakarot is getting his own game?
You can play as Vegeta in this game, apparently.
You can play as the Prince of all Saiyans.
Technically, he's the king now, right?
Look, give me my limelight.
His dad.
All I wanted. All I wanted was a little place to.
It's a good Vegeta accent. Or impersonation.
Is it?
I think so.
I have to start it like that.
It always with the grunt.
Yeah, so Dragon Ball Z Kakarot will be coming to PlayStation, Xbox One, and PC.
There you go.
I don't know why I got English.
You be Vegeta. I'll do Piccolo.
Later this week.
Yes. I don't know how the RPG mechanics will work into it, but we'll see when the game comes out. I might pick it up, but I'll be busy with Orange Blood. I feel like it was too deep for a Piccolo. I don't know.
Did you take care of Gohan? Well, you did it. That's all that mattered.
Goku's bitch-ass father owes me child support, and he never even powered me up or trained with me on the hyperbolic time chamber. The balls are inert.
Oh,
Kami, fuse with me so I can go fight these androids.
That dude.
No. Yeah, it was the android. Yeah, it was the android.
Also did it for somebody else too. He fused with Nail to fight
Frieza.
Yeah.
Right.
He first was.
Or I don't know if it was Frieza. It was one of his goons. But yeah, no. He's got Nail and Kami living up in his body now, so.
Both of them were gods, right?
Well, I know Kami was. Pretty fucking wild to have a god living in your body. Whatever. Dragon Ball lore. What are you going to do?
Yeah, they die, they come back. I mean, shit. We're looking at Star Wars at this point, right?
Pretty much.
It's like everybody's coming back. It doesn't matter. Palpatine's here.
Instead of the Force, you got Ki or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So it looks like it goes up to only the Boo saga from what we've seen. Didn't see anything past that. But
don't worry, DLC will probably happen.
There you go. There's the saving grace. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. Is your wallet full? Because it's about to be empty.
Full of what? Zenny.
There you go. Head on down to your local Capsule Corp and pick up the DLC expansion pack. Limited bundle collector's edition plus turbo remake
as
HD.
Shitty as people like to claim that GT was, it had some cool fights.
I like GT.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as people said. I mean, some of the plot points. I think most people just really hated that Goku went small again.
Kid form. I didn't like goatee Vegeta either. When he had the mustache and the fucking soul beard or soul patch thing going on.
Yeah,
that was a weird look for him. And he had to use satellites to boost himself up to Super Saiyan 4. Get the fuck out of here. Damn well Vegeta.
Well, let's be honest. Not canon, doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right.
I mean, it's not canon, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're right.
That's why it was all cool when they went.
They were fucking busted in Budokai 3. Anybody, Goku and Vegeta Super Saiyan 4 and Gogeta, busted as hell in the Budokai 3 games. And Omega Shenron 2, he was pretty busted, but nobody played Omega Shenron unless you were tryhard.
Beyond
knowledge.
Beyond me. Yeah, so that about wraps up what we care about, the game lists for this week.
Bro, it's going to be goddamn hype to play as Teen Gohan and fight Cell. You know it is.
It should be. I mean, that's the way it was in the anime.
If they do the story mode in this game the same way they did in Naruto Ultimate Ninja games, it's gonna get heavy. It's gonna get emotional. And it's gonna be hype. It's gonna be flashy, and it's gonna be perfect. Mark my words. I'll show you an example of one after you get through doing your. What are you doing?
Well, basically what I'm doing is moving on to topics to the table. This is where you, the viewer, the listener, can send in your own questions and or comments to the show. As of this week, we have the A1 Day 1, the mainstay, the main squeeze himself.
Sending in questions. Shout out to Joey.
This week's question.
Nice.
Am I a terrible host for burping?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Anyway, Joey's question this week is, will Cuff get the Alienware Switch when it comes out? And what do you guys think about that shiznit?
Well, that's relevant as hell, because we literally just watched that.
Oh, did we?
Wow. Planned it.
Yeah, I did. I made sure you watched it.
That Alienware Switch looks what the Switch should have been.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Refer to literally any podcast where we talk about the Switch to hear my opinions.
And we should just reference our earliest
podcast.
God,
I don't know about all that.
Man, that's good stuff.
TLDR. Switch is garbage. Hardware is garbage. Joy-Cons are garbage. This Alienware Switch thing.
It's a little rough.
It's not. It's opinions. It's opinions.
All of it's functional.
It's opinions.
Say garbage, you make it seem like it's all just terrible.
Well, I mean, if Xbox can release its console with no exclusives and it can get shit on, then I'm going to shit on Switch.
I guess.
Yeah. So. The Switch can absolutely sit in the corner with a steaming hot pile of shit on it, and I'll be playing on my Alienware. What was the name of it?
I don't even remember the name of it. I don't think it had a name. It might have.
That shit looked cool, though. For one thing,
I think Logitech or somebody else had another one too. But he brought up the Alienware one.
Yeah, resolution's better. You can play like literally any PC game on it. So, your move, Nintendo.
In theory, they said it was a concept thing. It wasn't actually ready yet. It does look cool. I think it looks better, and the pro of being able to play any fucking PC game on it is amazing.
Yep. Video we watched, dude was struggling to play Rocket League like the pleb he was.
Yeah, I was about to say struggling, meaning he was bad at it. Not that the console itself
not
was,
by any fault of it was user error.
Yeah, he was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he tried to hit the ball, literally did a U around the ball.
Yeah, he banged a UE and still couldn't hit it and was like going up the, I don't know, whatever.
Very rough.
I'm not saying I'm a professional at Rocket League or anything, but he could use some work. They showed a little bit of, was it DayZ? World War Z?
I don't know if you showed anything else other than Rocket League on it.
I've seen some World Wars.
It might have been.
Is it Day?
Which one? There's DayZ.
The new Left 4 Dead clone. That's World War Z, right? Or DayZ?
The World War Z is a little more of a Left 4 Dead clone. Yeah, I guess so.
Whichever one that one was. The one with the zombies.
They're both.
I mean, the World War Z was the movie.
Yeah,
but I don't know if
it has a game as well.
Okay. I don't remember if that was the same name as.
And basically, there's a horde of zombies running at you, and you have to.
The left.
So I'm gonna say it was World War Z.
Yeah, the Left 4 Dead knockoff. There was a couple little stills and snippets of gameplay on there. Looked all right. Can't play that on Switch, so.
I mean, you could if people took time.
Yeah, I mean, but they won't though. So.
Yeah.
Shout out to Alienware. Really giving the middle finger to Nintendo. I'm all about it. So good on them. Don't know if I'll get one. Don't know what the price point is.
Yeah, that was I don't think it was an actual thing.
Yeah, apparently, I guess it's still in the concept.
Yeah,
phase.
it was a concept thing. It's an interesting concept, no doubt. If they could do that, I feel like a lot of it looked way too Nintendo-y. Like, it looked too much like the Switch. Nintendo has sued for less.
I mean,
I don't know how patents work and stuff like that, but Nintendo has absolutely sued for less.
I'm sure Alienware's got their lawyers and
I'm sure they
trademark people back in the backseat just doing that thing. You know that meme where that dude's like
rolling the Play-Doh?
Yeah, rolling the Play-Doh snakes. Like, come on, try and sue us.
I don't know. Nintendo's probably bigger than Alienware.
Wow, you think so?
Absolutely. Nintendo's been around for 100 years.
Aliens have existed since the beginning of time and space.
No.
You ever watch the History Channel?
That's what I was about to say. Only since the History Channel has they been relevant.
Hitler was playing on his Alienware Switch decades ago. So.
No, interesting take. I love the design of it, honestly. I think the Nintendo Switch could learn a lot from that. If Nintendo does do a Pro version, or whatever you want to call it, I think that the version that Alienware showed off would be a good knockoff for Nintendo to take inspiration from. That whole clamshell where the whole back folded instead of just a little kickstand.
Oh, you're talking about the stand?
Yeah, the whole back clamshell, I think, right?
Yeah.
And that was a sturdy background, and they could take the whole handset off. And I mean, I'm a fan of a lot of what Nintendo does, but man, some of them glossy buttons that was on that thing, them glossy buttons, them glossy triggers instead of the matte triggers, they were really cool.
Definitely a sexy looking.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, if you had to call it, I'd call it a sexy looking handheld. That was really cool.
Plot twist: Alienware shows this off. Turns out they were actually contracted by Nintendo to make the Pro version, which is this.
Yeah,
and they just showed it off.
But they did show. They did say that the fans were loud and all that stuff. But honestly, I don't think
fans of the console. That is
no, the internal fans. I don't think that's a problem. I think people need to understand their.
That's what I meant. The fans on the console.
Oh yeah, you said the fans. On
the
console.
Way you said it, I thought, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, the actual fans in the
hardware. Console. Yeah, I thought you said fans of the console, but I feel like people need to understand.
They won't shut up about it. They're so loud.
need to understand limitations of hardware. Everybody wants everything to be small and quiet. Like, everyone wants their phones to be able to run every fucking thing. Everyone wants everything at their fingertips so fast and so quiet. And I understand that, but that's unrealistic. This is a little more realistic, and for the fans to be loud, I think people just should be able to deal with that. I know it's concept, whatever, but I wouldn't have a problem with it. It had the little honeycomb, I think is what they call it, the honeycomb design on the back where the fans was able to intake and breathe out the top, and they were loud. But still, if you're able to play fucking, I don't know.
Once you have the game volume going and like some headphones or something.
Yeah, if you have headphones on, it doesn't matter. Just fuck the people around you. Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
you're sitting there.
Them. Where's their Alienware switch?
I know. I think it said resolution was
1220?
1200. It was something by 1200, which is a little above 1080p. So that's cool. You know, it had that widescreen, or I think it
said 16 by shit.
It's
9?
not 16 by 9, is it? I think
no,
the 1200. The 1200 would be 16 by 10.
I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of that Dell we seen earlier on the.
But yeah, I think it's really cool. Fuck fans. If fans have to happen, heat happens, especially when you have something that small and that compact, and trying to play on a goddamn 10-inch, 10 to 9-inch.
Size. I was too strucken by the sexiness of it.
It was really impressive. So yeah, I'm very, very, very into it. Let's see. Moving on to a topic that I wanted to bring up.
Are you allowed to do that?
I am, because it's our podcast and we're allowed to bring topics to our own table.
Hell yeah, bring it. Hit me with a topic.
Okay, my topic this week is there's a rumor saying that the next generation of Xboxes will be able to support Steam games.
Okay. I look like a fucking computer, so I'm not surprised.
And Steam natively supports about every goddamn console controller. So I was wondering your take on that.
It's cool, I guess. Do they need Steam? Don't they have Windows?
They do, but you were literally complaining, I think yesterday, about Steam exclusivity.
Oh yeah, well, the Disco Elysium thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck Steam.
Yeah, but there's a rumor going around that Xbox X Series will be able to support Steam games. So that would be fucking, dude.
What a time we live in.
What are consoles anymore? Is literally what we're looking at.
Optimized gaming PCs.
Yep. It was probably the earlier in this generation we were looking at either consoles are dead or PC is dead. That's all that was happening towards the earlier iterations of PS4 and Xbox One. And then once they came out, and then remember Steam machines?
Yes.
Yeah, they came and no one heard anything about them. Yep. Wonder why.
Killed it.
Yeah. Nobody wanted a console PC.
Damn, does that mean if Half-Life 3 ever happens, it's going to be Xbox exclusive?
I mean, a little bit, yeah.
Dang. That's whatever. I can take or leave that. I don't really fuck with Steam too often. So.
It's a very, very big plus. That would almost eliminate the need for the exclusivity. Because it would have its own exclusivity market. If you had a console that literally had PC games on it, that you could play with like I said, most PC games actively support
some kind of controller adaptation thing.
Yeah. So Xbox's next gen, if they do somehow get Valve in their pocket, which doesn't, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, Microsoft allowed them to be on their platform for fucking, 15, 20 years at this point?
That is true.
So, why wouldn't it? And he's like, hey, look, you wanted a market? You don't even really support Apple that much. Like, fuck, Mac doesn't even get a lot of Steam support. So, why wouldn't you let us be on... Yeah, you know?
I think that's something we can all agree on. Fuck Apple.
I'm not, I will say fuck Apple. I was about to try to be nice, but fuck Apple.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks they're so high and mighty with their iPhones. You know what iPhones contain? Samsung parts. You know 90% of an iPhone is a Samsung device?
Just slap an Apple on it, dog. Upsell it for $200.
Everything in a fucking iPhone is a Samsung product.
Yeah, go compare your MacBook Pro to a Dell XP.
Similarly compared, priced and purchased and put together PC.
Yeah, and then see how much more you can get out of the PC for the same price. Just saying.
It's wild.
You pick up your AirPods, right?
One thing I was always against, I guess this is that part of the show where we can just bring up anything, because I like that. We just bring up everything.
Yes.
You know, towards the end of the show, we just kind of tailor off to anything. One thing I was never a fan of is dropping of the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack.
Oh, yeah, no, that was dumb.
And some phones are still following suit with that.
Why?
I think the Google Pixel 4... I think the the Pixel 4 is doing it.
Or were they the first culprit of it?
No, iPhone was.
Okay, that's what I thought. But Google is following in that same trend?
I think so.
That's dumb.
I could be wrong. Like, don't quote me on it, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that the Google Pixel 4 is doing the same thing where they're dropping the headphone jack.
Did you see the fucking... I don't know if it's real or not, but there was a meme. I'm pretty sure it's real, but the fucking AirPod things, right? They were like... They made a product that literally holds your AirPods.
Oh, yeah.
And it's essentially what earbuds would be.
Yeah.
And then like all the comments were like,
well, they die.
We've gone full circle.
Yeah. It's literally, they die, so they have to have a charger. So you take the charger and you plug them to your phone, and the charger charges them through your phone, so it's draining your battery life. And then it's basically using your phone to charge your earbuds, which would essentially be a 3.5 millimeter jack, but you're using a lightning charger to do so. So.
And on top of that, you can buy your $1,200 monitor stand. So.
Did you see that new? This is the Mac Pro, the $62,000 Mac Pro.
God damn! Did you say 62,000?
I did. I'll bring it up.
Like 62 with 3 zeros
yes.
after it.
I think it's.
Why is it made of
Steve
Jobs' hair or something?
It's made for like Pixar. Or, It's made for developer or whatever movie manufacturer people thing.
Mac Pro.
So yeah.
Okay, so we did some research into the Mac Pro real quick, and it's absolute retardation. And in my opinion, I can't speak for Roger, but
no, it's something.
Yeah, we watched a very avid fan of Mac go over every square fucking inch of this thing and just jizz all over it. And then we looked up the price points. So the Mac Pro starts out at, was it $6,000?
Yeah, $5.5, $6,000. It's starting.
That's base form. Okay.
But and has optional upgrades.
Has optional upgrades. With all the upgrades, it goes up to about $53,000. All right.
$52,000, but I mean after tax, who the hell knows what tax is at $52,000?
Yeah. So a house essentially. By comparison's sake, your boy PC Master Race expert.
No, I just looked up what the specs were to the PC, and it's running a 28 core processor.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked up a Threadripper, which would be an AMD's comparable Threadripper, which was about 12. No, the one we looked up was a 1500, and then I looked up the Vega Pro series, which was the graphics card used in the MacBook or the Mac Pro, which also came in at 1500. Which he said he was using dual GPUs, so that's automatically 3200. So add the processor, you're looking at $4,500.
Yeah, so you could essentially
just for the CPU alone. I mean, I don't know what kind of storage this thing has, but I think realistically,
you could build this machine for a fifth of the price.
Yeah.
That
50. What was it? 56?
53,000.
53. Yeah.
No, wait. I think you're right with the 56 thing.
Yeah. So goddamn $10,000. If you had $10,000 to burn, buy you a board that supports a Threadripper, throw a Threadripper in something, grab 2 Vega Pro GPUs, slap it in it. I don't know.
And then whatever other bells and whistles you want. Then take the remaining $40,000 you've got and go on vacation. Like, damn.
And then make your Pixar movies or whatever the fuck people want to do with this kind of stuff.
Who the fuck does Apple think they're fooling with these guys? Like, Jesus Christ. I don't know, man.
I think I watch a lot of Linus Tech Tips, and I think they did a little teardown at this. I think they should do a comparison build. See where they can
see what they can
fit
price point wise and everything.
Yeah, see if they could just take hardware from Newegg and just make this. That's
yeah, because not to mention that the one Threadripper we looked up had 4 more cores in it.
Yeah, it was a 32 core for the 15. It was $1,500 and had 4 more cores
than the maxed out upgraded version of the fucking MacBook Pro Steve Jobs
But
edition.
see, it didn't have the aluminum housing that was ergonomically designed.
You can't recycle the box.
The guy literally, it was ergonomically designed. See, this is based off of like actual nature stuff. Like nature makes these holes to actually ventilate the way rocks form.
You can tell.
That's what he was literally saying.
You can tell Apple paid this guy to review this product because he literally had nothing bad to say. No criticisms or anything whatsoever.
Let's be honest. If Apple sent you a $54,000 PC?
Oh, it'd go straight
or
to
a $54,000 Mac. Actually, I'd be sad.
It'd go straight to the fire bin and let it set on fire. I wouldn't even recycle the box. Eat a dick.
They gave you... Yeah, he said they got instructions out of the box on how to recycle it. Yeah, I don't know.
David came with stickers.
He lost his mind over stickers. But yeah, that this happened a couple of weeks ago. This is earlier in December, but still. It's been a good episode actually. We're about to hit the 2-hour mark.
Word. Let's wrap it up. I gotta get home.
Word. Well, I want to thank anybody that's sending questions. Joey, thank you. I want to welcome all of our new members. Getting an influx of new Twitter followers, new Facebook followers. I don't know whether that's on behalf of the streaming, on behalf of Facebook, just sharing my stuff around. But if you're listening to this and you made it this far, I appreciate you. Don't be afraid to message me, send me questions. I've got a couple of messages from newer members. I'm happy to respond to you. So yeah, just send in your messages. We'll answer them just like this, just like we did Joey. You know, we've been doing this for 19 weeks at this point.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Seems like a long time.
Shout out
to 19 weeks.
Shout out to the new people. I don't know much about it, but big ups to you.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been episode 19 of Talking Snacks, a gaming podcast, and yeah, take it easy, guys.